Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we're going through Marcus Stoinis, who is currently the highest owned player in the BBL SuperCoach at 56.5%. 4,416 people own him currently. And obviously, as the game gets closer to release, he probably will dip down, as I expect. Glenn Maxwell, Matt Short, and a lot of the Renegades guys to get selected more and more, especially when we find out further about the Stars batting order and their bowling lineup. So we'll see about that. But I guess I'm just going to do a video today on the most owned player currently in the game and sort of why I don't believe you should be selecting him, even though I said in my first team reveal that I had him in my side. He's definitely a guy that, depending on what we get out of the Stars, if there's anything, that will probably change my opinion or whether or not. But anyway, let's just jump into the video here. So as you see here, Marcus Stoinis, 56.5% owned. If we just go out a little bit here, you'll see an average of 28.5 last year. Season rank of 48th for that, I believe. Is that batters only, etc.? I don't know exactly, but yeah, 56 break even, projected 65. And you'll just see here, if we just go to here, you can basically see he only had 2 good rounds last year. If we look at the year before that, into 22-23, you'll see an average of 37. And the year before that, you will see an average of 28. And the year before that, you will see an average of 52. So what went, and we can go back even further, 64, this will probably show up, I think, as 70, 96.9, and then back here, 38. So what went wrong in the last 3 years that he has really dropped off significantly? If we go to the season stats, and I have more stats up here in the in another tab here that will show it. You can see here, 169 runs, 45 strike rate bonus, and 1 wicket last year. If we go to the season before that, you will see that he had 190 runs, 2 wickets, but a better strike rate bonus and only 1 catch. What about the last year where we just catches basically disregarded itself? The year before that, 170 runs, 50 strike rate and no wickets. But if we go back even further, you'll see 396 runs in a longer season, 140 strike rate, so he's getting a lot more strike rate bonuses, and still 2 wickets, and then also some fielding points as well. Then we go to the year before that, 19-20. This was this his 96 average year, I think? Yeah, I think it was. You'll see 705 runs. Ridiculous amount of runs. 203 strike rate bonus. This is different strike rate system as well. 62 runs bonus. And then 20, that's a 1 wicket. And then we go back to 18-19, and you'll see in another big year for him, 500 runs. But that is, I believe, that is 14 wickets. 14 wickets for him as well, 56 dot balls. Whereas if we look here, he only had 25 dot balls. The year before that, 10. The year before that, 0. The year before that, he had 10 dot balls. So you're seeing in 18-19 a large bowling here, as well as he got 60 points in economy rate bonus, and I'm pretty sure that's about 5 points per game that he's just not getting anymore. We look back even further, you can see 3 wickets here and 76 runs, and an economy rate bonus as well of 30 there, where he's just not getting it anymore. You can see he never got the economy rate bonus, 25 dot balls. So that's one of the big things I think you'll see. If we go to Marcus Stoinis here is his BBL batting stats. And they're not exactly year on year. They're not the proper year on year. But if we look at it, you will see that in 2022, he had 9 innings at 193 strike rate and an average of 32. And you can also see here an average of 45 and an average of 59. Whereas now in these sort of in big clumps here in the 2023 campaign, for most part of it, he averaged 23 with the bat and 148 strike rate, which just isn't good enough really to make much, to do much damage, to be honest with you. Averaging less than, if we look at that, averaging less than 20 runs per inning. If we look back on here, that's over like 35. That's close to probably near enough 40. Here is over 25. So you can just see here that most of these innings in these years, and they're not exactly BBL years, are pretty much lining up. And then if we look at the bowling right here, you'll look at 2024, you look at the balls bowled. In 4 games, he was bowling 1 ball and over. In back here, in 2023, he bowled, roughly about just under an over a game in 5 innings. That's 5 innings that he must have bowled in. He bowled in 10 matches, 54 balls, that's 9 overs. In 9 matches, 54 balls. In 14 matches back in 2021, he bowled 36, then 12. And then back in 2019, he bowled 150 in 14, which is over 10 balls in innings, which is why you see this, as well as a huge strike rate differential here. So he hasn't really been bowling basically since 2017, 18, 19. And that's why, if we look back on his stats, if we go back to this one here, if we look back, when was his last good year? If we go back to summary, 2018, 19, he averaged 64. This year he averaged 2018, 19, he averaged 96. The year before that, he averaged 60. The year after, he averaged 65. And then 2020, 2021, when you see this start to drop off dramatically in this game here, you can see matches, and then here as well, when he wasn't really bowling, you can see that drop by 14 points. The year after that, he dropped by 24 points in 2021-22, which you can see here, 14 matches for 36. And so not only did his bowling, he not get the opportunity, his batting as well started to really fall off a cliff here. You see average went down from sort of these mid-40s range into the 30s or into the late 20s. So that's the reason why he's really dropped off. And if we look at the field here, I think you'll see very, very similar things all around. You can actually see he actually is dropping off in catches as well as, I think, runouts as well. So catches, stumpings, distracts. Where's the runouts? I don't exactly know what these are referring to, but you can see these are referring to catches. You can see the catches are definitely drying up in the last couple of weeks. I don't know whether he's just being put in different... I'd have to find a way to find that, even though I don't know it's possible to find his actual fielding positions for a majority of the time, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's finding himself in odd positions that don't really have the ball going to him as much, and that's the reason why these catches are dropping. In terms of the amount here, as you can see in these 2 BBLs, they were a lot higher. And even if you take into account the fact that he's had 17 and 14 games, he's a 14 gamer for 1 catch and a 9 gamer for 1 catch and a 10 gamer for 2. They're well down on the averages in terms of there as well. So all in all, and now I need to go to showcase my point really of why I don't buy much into Marcus Stoinis. If we go to the Melbourne Stars, and we go to their bowlers, because we've seen right now that he has roughly about an 18 to 20 point drop off just because of bowling down to like 1 or 0 overs a game. If we look at the Melbourne Stars bowling lineup, you'll see Scott Boland. I expect him to be available for quite a lot of the BBL, so he should be playing, even though I don't know if he gets a game. They've got Steckity, Paris, Curran, Webster, Maxwell. These 4 should all be bowling ahead of Stoinis. Why'd you do that? Okay, those 4 should be all bowling ahead of Stoinis. That's already 16 overs. Take into account Mackenzie or Mir will be the spinner, we expect. That'll be another 4 overs. So that's already 20 overs there between those 5 guys. Then you're probably also going to see that Webster and Maxwell are up the order. So you're probably going to be enabled to bowl to get like Steckity in, or someone like that, Steckity or maybe a Boland in. Anyway, so that gets it up to 24 allotted overs between, say, a Steckity / Boland and Mackenzie / Mir. So that's 8 overs. Paris, Curran, Webster, Maxwell. That's 24 overs. Stoinis would be the 25th to 28th over. And we know that T20s are only 20 overs, so it's very, very unlikely, especially if Bo Webster is bowling well, for Stoinis to be needed, because Bo Webster is probably, I would say, in front of Stoinis. However, one good thing I think we saw, we didn't see him play in the T20s, in the one day, did we? If we look at completed matches, I don't want that. If we look at completed matches, he wasn't playing in this game, was he? No, he was not. We saw Hardy, Maxwell, bowling, etc. And did we see any other Stars players? No, we did not. But if we saw in the Australia game here, Maxwell still got some overs as well in that, which is a good sign as well that he's bowling. And probably not a good sign for Marcus Stoinis. And then if we look at the batting, right, so we know that Stoinis' best campaigns came when he was batting like opener or batting 3, etc. If we go to the Stars lineup, you'll see, if we go here, Sammy Harper or Ben Duckett's probably going to be opening the batting. I expect that. One of the two is going to be there. Sammy Harper is going to be there for the first couple of rounds. I expect him to open. We expect Tom Curran to bat about 6. You expect probably Tom Rogers to be the other opener, I would sort of expect. Then you've got here as well, Hilton Cartwright's probably going to bat 4 or 5. And you've got Bo Webster and Glenn Maxwell there as well, who are going to bat 3 and 4. So Stoinis could bat 6 here. And sorry, Curran will bat 7, I expect, now thinking about it. So if Curran bats 7, let's work this from the top. If Sam Harper opens with Tom Rogers, then you're going to have probably Bo Webster at 3, Maxwell at 4. Then you're going to have Hilton Cartwright probably at 5, or Stoinis at 5, and Hilton Cartwright at 6. So I have him batting basically 5 or 6, and maybe getting 1 over a game. Compare that to what he was doing in his big campaigns, and you'll see he was opening the batting, so he was 3 or 4 slots higher. Plus, he was also getting 2 to 3 more overs, which gets him in line to 1, get more overs to get more wickets, 2, get the economy rate bonus if he somehow sneaks under the economy rate, which can happen. 3, he's also, for some reason, not fielding in better slots. So that's why at the moment, with current data that we have on player availability and everything, I expect him to really struggle to actually make an impact on this campaign for the Stars, and that's why I think he's just probably going to be a 30s guy. He's going to have the odd innings where he comes in, Stars collapse, he comes in at like 4 for 50 or something like that, or 3 for 50 odd, and makes like a 40 off 30 or something like that, and really scores like a 50 plus score. But I think it's going to be on the odd occasion. I also think there's chances in chases that he just doesn't get a bat and rarely gets a pole. So there's a couple games I expect where he gets like sub 10 points, and we just cannot be having that. So for that exact reason, I just cannot pick Marcus Stoinis at this point in time. But if we get closer to the day and they say for instance, Joel Paris or a Mark Steckity or a Scott Boland, one of those slots isn't going to play, and we're going to play Marcus Stoinis more as a bowler, that's going to get 4 overs and bat 5. That's when he starts to come into the situation as probably a bench piece over like an Ashton Turner, where you can make some cash gen quickly, and then dump him off for a better option, etc. But that's, or you just get an underpriced premium in the end. Or if they say he's going to open the batting and still bowl 1 or 2 overs, because that's one of the batter slots that you can really, especially on the bench, you can use. But we haven't heard that detail yet, or at least I haven't heard it myself. So I'll update you when I do, if I hear anything. But that is the Marcus Stoinis video there. If you did enjoy it, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. Bye guys.